For our very first Artist of the Month, we are going to explore the weird world of Hieronymus Bosch, the Netherlandish early Renaissance painter, born in North Brabant sometime around the 1450s to a Dutch family of painters. Bosch was a well-respected painter and member of society who achieved success and recognition in his lifetime. But because he had no children and there are no surviving documents of his, little is known about this mysterious painter. Much of his work was not signed or signed under various names. And because he was a very unique individualist painter, copies of his work from his peers and other artists began surfacing. So it is difficult to say exactly what works were done by his hand. He is considered the prototype surrealist, and while it is obvious that he was influenced by the Renaissance and other Renaissance painters, he deviated from creating work that was merely realistic. He brought forth the machinations of the mind and the subconscious onto the canvas. Bosch created several triptychs, which are works of art created in 3 separate sections, usually on panels that are hinged together. One of his most famous pieces, The Garden of Earthly Delights, is a linear narrative, meaning it is to be read from left to right. His work is painstakingly teeming with mayhem and drenched in detail. The images of bizarre situations and fantastic creatures portray conceptions of heaven and hell, the holy and the heretic, and the human experience. But who was this painter who created such unique and captivating art? What were the motives behind the things he painted, and what were his inspirations? Was he a heretic in league with the devil? Was he a religious nut, or was he simply infatuated with the narrative? Was he the Nostradamus of painters? Were his paintings portrayals of humorous profanity? And probably the most frequently asked question, was he crazy? We can't really answer any of these questions for certain. From my own research and my opinions of his artwork, I like to think it is a little bit of a mixture of all of these things. I tend to look at Bosch as a visionary who portrays rather than preaches. A man who is interested in narrative in the exploration of human existence. To me anyways, his work seems to be more evocative of challenge and question than it is about answering questions. Alchemy and an interest in witchcraft are apparent in his paintings and also indicative of his time. However, unlike a large percentage of the population, he was literate and definitely interested and more learned on the subject of alchemy than most. To me, his work speaks more as a magician or someone infatuated with sorcery than it does a devout Christian preaching. It is possible that he had a pre-existing medical condition or induced psychosis or dreamlike states to create the work that he did. It is also possible that he suffered delusions from an illness caused by a fungus found in rye. Much like in Salem, mass populations suffering illness and hallucinations due to the consumption of tainted food is thought to have played a major role in the witch trials, which were all the rage back then. But his interest in sorcery is more indicative of his time in the curious mind than it is of mental illness or psychosis. The belief that an interest in magic or sorcery or the supernatural being indicative of mental illness is a rather archaic one among psychologists and scholars. His paintings have been the subject of rigorous psychoanalysis over the years. We can surmise that with his exceptional visualizing powers, objects, as well as ideas, which would have evoked powerful associations in the unconscious, produced visual images or hallucinations that he perceived and accepted as real, and thereby altered the total original perception. This is common in psychiatric illness, and some patients are unable to resist it. As a painter who submerges herself in symbolic narrative and dabbles in surrealism, who also suffers from mental illness, including schizophrenia, I can say for certain that it is impossible to not put that part of yourself on the canvas. But they seldom have the ability to concentrate, and organize their personal visions and hallucinations into a significant work of art. Many researchers discredit any claim that Bosch suffered from any sort of psychosis or mental illness, because they believe it is unlikely that someone with psychosis can achieve works of this magnitude. Sustained psychotic illness impairs integrated creative work. I find that kind of insulting, and I think that anybody who believes that can go fuck themselves. Now, I don't know if Bosch could read music, but it is known that he could play music. Now, can music be indicative of mental illness? Absolutely. A side effect of certain psychoses is that you hear music or notes wrong or differently than others. Now, as a person with psychosis who has spent a lifetime playing music and experimenting, particularly with discordance, I can say that people with certain mental illnesses thrive on making music that is different or outside the box. Not because that's what we aim to do, but our minds seem to operate that way, and that's just how things tend to come out in their purest form. So can the secret to Hieronymus Bosch's mental state lie in the music on the butt? So it is possible, not plausible to me anyway, that Bosch was totally neurotypical. But here you have the opportunity to hear the opinion straight from the horse's mouth, as opposed to doctors who can only speculate and are often wrong. But my opinion could partly be me projecting, because I would like to believe that a person with severe mental illness or psychosis can overcome and achieve greatness in their lifetime. But who knows? My basis in reality is totally fucked.